There are some losses that time can soften. Others linger in the quiet hours of the night, settling into the spaces left behind. For one grieving husband, the line between memory and reality begins to blur when the familiar comforts of home become something else entirely. Tonight's story is about love, grief, and the terrible things that may answer when we refuse to let go. Welcome to Nightmares in Small Doses. My wife, Lena, died in her sleep on March 7th. They said it was an aneurysm, painless, no warning. One moment she was warm beside me, her breath soft against my neck. The next, she was cold, still. Her lips parted slightly like she was trying to say something. They said it was peaceful. They lied. Because ever since Lena died, I've been waking up to her screams. Always at 3:17 a.m. It started 3 nights after the funeral. I was still numb, drifting through the days like a ghost. People kept bringing food I didn't eat, leaving condolences I never read. The nights were worse. That's when the silence settled in. That's when I started hearing everything. The creaks and the whispers echoing through the house that suddenly felt too empty. On the 3rd night, the silence broke. I jolted awake, drenched in sweat. 3:17 a.m., the alarm clock glowing red. At first I thought it was the wind, but then I heard her voice, a scream, raw, primal. It came from our bedroom, the room where she died, the one I hadn't stepped into since the paramedics closed the door and carried her out. I thought I was dreaming, until it happened again the next night, and the night after that. It wasn't just the scream. That alone would have been bad enough. Then the little things started. One morning I found Lena's toothbrush wet. I hadn't touched it. Her perfume hung in the hallway. I could swear the bed had moved, creased, like someone had lain in it. Sometimes I'd find the sheets rumpled, the pillow sunken in. I started thinking I was losing it. Grief does strange things to the mind. So, I installed a camera. Just a cheap baby monitor I bought online. I aimed it at the bedroom door. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't want to hear another, "You really should talk to someone" speech. The next day, I watched the footage with shaking hands. At 3:16 a.m., nothing. At 3:17, the door opened. Not slowly, not with a creak. It snapped open, like someone yanked it from the other side. Then on the audio, a scream. Loud, deafening, filled with pain and fury. But there was no one there. Nothing came out, just the scream, and the door slowly swinging shut again. I stopped sleeping. Instead, I started researching. Ghosts, poltergeists, time slips, anything that might explain what I was living through. But nothing fit, because this wasn't just haunting behavior. It was getting worse. The hallway mirror cracked from the inside. Lena's cat, Clover, sat outside the bedroom door every night and howled until her throat bled. And then there was the smell, like rot, wet earth, mold, old blood. Every morning after 3:17, that smell would spread down the hallway, stronger with each passing day. I tried to leave, packed my bags, booked a hotel. The first night I was away, I got a call from the front desk. "There's someone in your room," they said, a woman, screaming. When they checked, the room was empty, but on my hotel pillow, someone had placed Lena's wedding ring. I hadn't seen it since the coroner gave me her personal effects. It should have been locked away in a drawer. I went back home. I don't know why. Maybe I thought I could fix this, give her some kind of peace. I entered the bedroom for the first time since she died. The air was thick, heavy. I stood in the doorway, too afraid to step inside. That's when I saw it. A footprint. pressed into the carpet by her side of the bed. Small, bare, just like hers, but it was soaked. The fibers around it dripped. Dark, muddy water pooled beneath it. I stepped back, slammed the door shut. That night, I installed 2 cameras, one at the door, one inside the room facing the bed. I watched the footage the next morning. At 3:17 a.m., both cameras cut out. Static, screaming. But one single frame slipped through. A single clear frame. I froze. Lena was sitting at the edge of the bed, soaked, covered in mud, her face blank, mouth wide in a scream I couldn't hear. Her eyes were black voids, and behind her something else, something wrong. A figure, tall, blurred, its hands resting on her shoulders. No face, just teeth. Hundreds of them, all smiling. I called a priest. He refused to enter the house, said he'd never felt anything like it, said this wasn't a haunting. "It's a passage," he whispered. "She's a door now." I didn't understand what that meant, not until I found the hole. It was behind the headboard, a patch of wall that had started to peel. The wallpaper came away like wet skin. I pulled it back. There was nothing behind it, no drywall, no beams, just black. A tunnel, maybe 2 feet wide, stretching into total darkness. It smelled like Lena's scream. I tried to seal it, boarded it up, nailed it shut. That night, I woke up with my mouth wide open, choking on mud. Thick, sour water dripping from my hair. I ran to the bathroom mirror. My eyes were purple. Just for a second I saw it. Something staring back at me. I couldn't breathe. I started clawing at my skin, trying to peel it off. When I finally collapsed, gasping for air, I saw something in the hallway mirror. Lena, watching. No blinking, no tears, just watching. And behind her, more. I went to Lena's grave, dug until my hands bled. Her coffin was full of water. She's gone. That's not her anymore. It wears her shape, smells like her, cries in her voice, but it's not Lena. It's using her, like a doorway, a portal. The more I suffer, the more I remember her, the wider it opens. It's feeding on me, on my memory of her, and it's not alone anymore. Last night I heard more voices behind the bedroom door. Not just her scream. Children, laughing, whispering in languages I don't understand. Wet footsteps walking just beyond the tree line. Something knocked 3 times, slowly, deliberately. When I didn't answer, they whispered through the keyhole. "Let her in." I can't leave. I tried again yesterday. Took the highway, drove for hours. But the sky went dark at 3:17. My phone screen cracked. My car died. And I woke up at home. Mud on my shoes. Her perfume hanging in the air. The hole is bigger now. I can hear the wind passing through, only there's no wind in there, just breathing. Us, they're coming through. She was the first. The breach. A doorway made of sorrow. I think I loved her too much. Maybe that's what let it in. My memory of her was too strong, too vivid. It opened something. They say if you grieve hard enough, you invite the dead back in. But I didn't invite her. I invited them. I don't sleep anymore, but every night I lie in bed and stare at the door. And every night at 3:17 a.m., it opens a little more. She's closer now. She's standing just outside the door, mouth open, arms limp. She doesn't blink, and behind her, the teeth are smiling. They're almost through. I think tomorrow she'll step inside. I think tomorrow they all will. And when they do, I'll be waiting. Because I still love her. Even now. Even if she's the end of everything. Thank you for joining me for another dose of nightmares. If you enjoyed the story, be sure to subscribe and leave a like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like even more stories to keep you awake at night, consider joining my Patreon, where you can read and listen to exclusive nightmares you won't find anywhere else. Until next time, happy nightmares.